So let's go then with that. Let's play off of the Raiders and Giants, because both of them in your updated power rankings that you put together with just exclusively numbers based, both of them in your bottom 5. What you have right now from the bottom up, the Bears are in last, followed by the Arizona Cardinals, the Giants, Panthers, and Raiders in that order.
Yeah, I mean, look, the one thing we know for sure is these teams that we have in the bottom have a lot to do with the quarterbacking position, right? Now, Bryce Young played better last week, and we have them, they're back in the bottom 5 because of the numbers, but they finally played better defense. And so the Raiders, their numbers offensively continue to not get better. The Giants, I mean, it's hard to get their numbers there where they are. Arizona has been consistent, and so is Chicago. So to me, the bottom is pretty much like we need a quarterback. Denver's not in the bottom because they've actually played better defensively the last few weeks. Pittsburgh's not in the bottom because they still can turn the ball over. New England, defensively. I think that's the key, because if you can't really all these teams in the bottom are bad on both sides of the ball. They're not great. The Giants have played better defensively, but their numbers aren't great defensively. Arizona, not good on both sides of the ball. Chicago, same thing.
Poor Carolina. They finally get a win. They're giving game balls to Bryce Young and Eddie Pinheiro and Thomas Brown, and then they're, we're putting you back there in the bottom 5, my guys. Sorry about it. How about we go to the top, though, because I thought this was interesting, too. Despite the Kansas City Chiefs having their roughest performance of the year, really, to this point, losing to the Denver Broncos, and Patrick Mahomes turning the ball over like crazy, they are still the top-rated team.
Yeah, I mean, by the numbers they are, Philly's really moved up. Baltimore's moved up as well. San Francisco's moved down, and Dallas moved up slightly, right? I mean, they're when I say move up, I'm talking about their power ranking numbers. Correct. As I look at them. The team that I think the team that started so slow, and I don't have their numbers correct, is Cincinnati, because the number, you almost have to, you got to throw the Denver game out against Miami in your numbers, and you got to throw pretty much the beginning of the season numbers out for Cincinnati because of how bad they were early, right? Mm-hmm. How bad they were early. You almost have to throw those numbers away. So you got to kind of have to adjust them and see what you're doing. Detroit's still good. And then Seattle's numbers for not being as explosive as they need to be on offense, they have not played well. Seattle has played well. Their numbers are good.
The Bengals, who you referenced there, obviously they start the season 1-3. Joe Burrow's compromised, doesn't look like himself. Now they've won 4 of their last 5, riding 3 straight, come out of the bye looking refreshed. How different does the mobility factor for Joe Burrow make this team? Because when he can run for first downs and get you the yards you need to get and extend a play, I feel like that just changes so much for Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think, to me, his movement, his rhythm, his toughness, right, and the ability that he can make throws down the field, he tilts the field. There's no question about that. And because he tilts the field, it's very challenging to deal with, right? That you got a hard time trying to handle him because he is really, really so talented, and these receivers kind of gravitate towards him. So for me, I think there's no doubt that, this Cincinnati line, it's moved back to Buffalo, but I think the best is yet to come for Cincinnati. I really do. I've been wrong on Cincy, and I've had to adjust my numbers. I didn't see that performance last week coming the way it did.
Michael, me too. I was the one that was like, why are we playing Joe Burrow at all? But maybe he needed to just work his way out of the calf injury, and that's what he wanted, to be there for his team. So credit him for knowing his body best and what he's done now. I'm going to put you on the spot here, Michael, because I know these are your top 5 teams based on your numbers. Where you sit right now, who's the best team in the NFL based on eye test and all the other things?
I still think the Chiefs are the best team, because if Mahomes corrects, and we talked about it yesterday, some of the numbers, if they stop dropping passes, their defense is good. I still think it's Philly and the Chiefs, and the Ravens are close, depending on how Lamar plays.
Got to get somebody other than Travis Kelce to be a dynamic pass catcher in Kansas City.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.